There is, yeah, I mean, there was a lot of soul searching for me over that period because, for the first time, I wasn't Ralph from Enter Shikari anymore. The band had effectively ceased to exist. We weren't playing shows and I wasn't writing music, so that was it. And I had to sort of try and work out who I was, and I had to get a sense of self-worth outside of the band. And that was difficult. It was really disorientating. I've been in this band since I was 16. Um, and especially without being able having the ability to write music, that's a way that I kind of not just get a sense of purpose and self-worth, but also how I organize my own thoughts, how I work out what I think about the world and myself and everything. So yeah, it was very strange. But there's consequently that a lot of that is on this album, there's the one of the last tracks on the album is literally called "I Don't Know You Anymore," which is about trying to work out who I am and sort of realizing that I don't have a, as fixed kind of a clear idea of who I am as I perhaps may have thought on a surface level. And at first that was quite almost frightening. But then like with a bit more thought, I sort of realized that I don't think anyone really knows who they are. We're
It's
just,
impossible.
yeah, we're just these fluid creatures just kind of evolving, and we're changing things about ourselves all the time. We change from one situation to the next, from one day to the next. So it's yeah, it was kind of a process that I found super interesting. And there's other tracks on there as well, which are all about kind of self-progression and breaking out of any limitations that you've put on yourself, or any kind of expectations, or an idea of who you thought you were and everything. So yeah, there's a lot of that introspection, I think, on this record.
And as you mentioned, obviously that's a continuous process, and there's so many variables in kind of forming or shaping who you are. But have you figured out to some extent who Rao is outside of Enter Shikari?
Yeah, there's a line from a track, I Don't Know You Anymore, which is, if you're looking for personality over looks, that bodes well for me because I've got 20 or 30 at my disposal. And that's sort of how I feel, there's like 1,000 different me's, and I'm just sort of subconsciously selecting which one or which amalgamation of some of them that I'm going to use from day to day, from situation to situation. Because I always thought that I was a bit kind of not truthful or not authentic, because I appeared different in so many situations. I mean, the obvious one is that like people always said, "Oh, you're so crazy on stage," and then like you're so chilled off stage, and it's like, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to stand on the table and run around? Um, but yeah, it took me a while to realize that the authentic me is many different me's, and that's fine, and that's perfectly natural. But yeah, it took a long time to sort of get to that conclusion, I think.